In a segment now of the civil rights, and I'm joined by.
Cornelius Rookes.
Okay, so can you give me a backstory about yourself?
Backstory. How far back?
Just a little background information, where you're from.
I was born and raised in Mississippi until I was 17. Came to Detroit, Michigan when I was 17. And I lived in Detroit for 60 years. And from 1947 until 2005.
Okay.
And I've been in Texas since that.
You say that the marches and sit-ins and other demonstrations actually helped the movement or hurt it?
In some respects, I think maybe it helped. But from the beginning anyway, there was a lot of changes made then. Um, I'm not sure I remember most of them because I didn't agree with them. Um, well, I didn't agree with some of them. I didn't agree with forced desegregation.
Would you go with the thoughts and views with Martin Luther King Jr. or the more of the views with Malcolm X?
For my thinking, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King stood for two different things.
Right.
And I agreed with the Martin Luther King protests because I understood it. And for me, it had substance. It meant something.
How did others interact with our race compared to how they react now with our race?
I personally haven't really seen a big change because as a Black American in Mississippi, being a child, my parents were both illiterate, but there were things that we never had to encounter. I only had one brother and myself, my parents. And a lot of things that a lot of Black Americans had to encounter, we didn't. And I feel that we must have been very sheltered. And in retrospect, my dad evidently knew a lot about Black America that I didn't know, and he shielded my brother and me from this, such as my mother having to go to the fields every day and working for the white people in their houses and all that stuff. We never knew that. And to have to be hired out to work to make money for the family, I never knew that. My dad was a different kind of farmer and whatever. Although he wasn't educated, he knew what he needed to do, I guess, to make a living for his family, and he did that. And even now, at 87, I think he did a fantastic job with what he had. We still don't, I still don't think we have almost equality, you know. We have equality in education and finances and that, but personally, we don't have much equality. But with what we have not been exposed to about our own heritage, I think it makes us less apt to get there, because with the education, now we, as Black Americans, have sort of caught up with the other part of American society. And it seems as though, this is only personal, that we've gotten as far as we care to go. You know? The educated Black American people seem to think, and I've had a few tell me that there isn't anything that we can do, because they go back to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and there are other Black Americans, I guess, that has tried what we think is to do more, but we always get knocked down. But my thought on that is, these people, back whenever they were trying, didn't have the skills, the ability, financially or otherwise. But now it seems like the financial part of Black America has reached their plateau, so to speak. And the ones that has not gotten there, has not got the education or whatever, I mean, you're just like swimming in water without any place to land.
I don't think there will ever be a time when we have the same equality as other races.
Unless we had somebody make a lot of changes, I hope, but I don't see it. But there's so many things that's not getting done that I think needs to be done, and I don't see how it can. This would mean we'd go backwards, sort of.
Right.
We wouldn't keep going forward
That's
because we just don't have time. What I think doesn't matter, but yet this is where I also think there's the best information that you could have to go forward as a 20-year-old, and my being an 87-year-old. There was a time in, I don't know about all Black Americans, but a lot of Black Americans that they didn't know toilet paper existed.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, my beginning, we didn't have toilet paper. We didn't have a bathroom. We had outhouses. If we had our history coming forward from back there, I believe Black Americans would have something to work forward to, as opposed to pushing it under the rug, because we have came a long way from there. The outhouses and no toilet paper. Sears and Roebuck used to send catalogs to every address, I guess, and the catalogs was that thick. And after we looked at the catalog, ordered or whatever we used it for, they'd put a ring on it. Well, some people did. My dad did. Put a ring on one corner of it, and the catalog is hanging down, and this is in the outhouse, and this is what we used with toilet paper. Nobody wants to talk about it, and I think it's because most of us are ashamed of it, you know? And this is where white Americans would like to see us stay and shut up. This is something that we don't talk about, and most of the time they tell, I mean, you can hear in the news media and whatever, they say that we should get over it. How are we going to get over it and we haven't got to it? You know? But young Black America wasn't there, never wanted to be there, and all I believe young Black Americans want to do is make their children better off than they were. Read it or figure it out or whatever, it's non-existent. And when you say yes ma'am to me, this is like from slavery for me, because this is why when my brother and I came up, we didn't say yes ma'am to mama and daddy. We didn't say yes ma'am to the white people or anybody. Yes and no was our words. You know? And now, even educators say, yes ma'am and no ma'am is respect. How can words be respect? words are not respect. It's your attitude, your whatever it is that comes from the outside, from the inside out of you. That's where your respect comes. You say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and I turn my back and you spit at me or whatever, but you said yes, ma'am. Okay, where is the respect?
Right.
You know? But this is the way the world is now.